Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Bulldogs TV. It's the Bulldogs TV pregame show live from the CHBS Fieldhouse right here in Mount Dora, Florida, where your Lady Bulldogs will be taking on Dunnellon High School here in the Cletus Sussman Holiday Classic. I'm Richard Thomas. Tim Dean will be joining me on the broadcast later on. But as we look forward to this varsity girls matchup, what we have is Dunnell again against your Lady Bulldogs of Mount Dora Bible. Mount Dora Bible coming into the game with a record of 7 wins and 4 losses. And then speaking with our head coach, here are the keys to the game for Mount Dora. He wants to see the Lady Bulldogs take care of the basketball. Pressure defense, our coach says, and he wants to play at a very, very fast pace. Our Lady Bulldogs typically play a man defense. And speaking with the head coach from Dunnell High School, he wants to see his team to play aggressive all game long. He knows that Mount Dora likes the pressure, so he wants to have aggressive basketball. He wants to see defense out of the Dunnell basketball team today. And he also wants to slow down the tempo. Whereas Mount Dora wants to push the tempo, the coach from Dunnell High School wants to push the tempo. So, varsity girls basketball in just a few. That's going to do it for the Bulldogs TV pregame show live from the CHBS Fieldhouse. We'll have tip-off in just a few right here on Bulldogs TV. And you heard me? I don't hear anything.
I hear you real well.
And we're back here on Bulldogs TV. Just got the tip off, and it looks like Dunnellon will get the first possession of this championship game in the first annual Cletus Stutzman Holiday Classic. We're on the campus of Mount Dora Bible in Mount Dora, Florida. And Tim Dean joining us on the broadcast. Welcome. I know you're coming down from Ocala, but welcome here to this championship Saturday here in Mount Dora.
Good to be here again, Richard. Should be an exciting game. Here in the championship, the girls' finals here in the Cletus Stutzman Holiday Classic.
As you see, number 15, Devin Berdahl knocking in the 3 there and gets Dunnellon on the board first. And, Coach, I know you've had an opportunity to see the Lady Bulldogs a couple of times. What are you looking for out of this championship matchup?
Well, after last night's game, I see that Haley Todd is in the starting lineup. And if you recall last night, she took a shot to the chin. Was held out for the remainder of that game. It's good to see her back in the lineup. But I want to see the Lady Bulldogs a little more consistent on offense. They left a lot of points on this court yesterday.
As we get a steal there on the inbounds, Mount Dora going underneath, and we'll get a couple of free throws there. Haley Todd, you just speaking about her, trying to go up for the layup there, and she'll go to the free throw line with an opportunity to shoot 2 points.
Yeah, Haley is one of the returning starters to the team, and she's been called upon to do quite a bit for this Lady Bulldogs team. As we talked yesterday, a very young team with 3 juniors and 5 freshmen. They only have 8 members, so these players are going to get a lot of court time today.
I was looking at the roster before the game, and I thought there might have been a little bit of a typo there, but you're right. The roster from Mount Dora, the Lady Bulldogs, really light.
Yeah.
Todd missing both free throws there, and Dunnellon coming back in transition. As we said in the pregame, Dunnellon a pretty good record, Coach, coming into the game with, a little over 500, 8-7, 2-3-2 in their district play.
Well, we can see a marked difference between the opponent that the Lady Bulldogs are playing today as compared to yesterday. This team seems to be much more proficient at dribbling, passing, rebounding, just all aspects of their game. And, of course, that's why they're here in the championship game.
Number 4, Jessie Itsu with the foul there, her first personal team foul.
Yeah, and we just saw Gianna Bonner with a block shot, and we're expecting a lot out of Gianna in this game. She had an off game yesterday, but I think she's capable of really putting up some big points here.
Big offensive board there from Mount Dora. Bringing the ball up out of the corner. Good save there, jumper. Left side, just rims out, but another offensive board there, and we'll get a foul underneath the basket, and Mount Dora will get the inbounds, but good offensive board there by Michaela Baker.
Well, what we're seeing is, again, Mount Dora, although they're outsized, are really positioning themselves well, boxing out well underneath the basket, and able to get their share of rebounds, especially on the offensive end.
3 ball right side off the back of the rim. Defensive board for Dunnellon, and they're coming in transition. Another 3 ball. That one doesn't look good. A big defensive board there, and we'll get a jump ball, and possession will stay in favor of the Mount Dora will take possession now. So
that.
Good hustle there to get that defensive board and sort of hold on to the ball.
Yeah. You can tell the Dunnellon team has a lot of height, a lot of quickness, some good ball handlers. I think this is going to be quite a battle.
Mount Dora going down low. Oh, flying in for the offensive board. And they called it travel, Coach. I didn't know you can travel in the air, but she kind of just caught the ball and fell straight to the ground. I don't know if that's a travel. But, again, as we said last night, they have the whistle, so their call.
Yeah.
And that one's going to be out of bounds, and it should stay in favor. Yes. Actually, they called a foul. on Mount Dora, number 11, Michaela Baker. That'll be her first personal. Second team foul for Mount Dora. 5:38 left here, first quarter.
It's interesting to see Mount Dora pressing from the opposing end line all the way down, much like the boys team did last night.
Yes.
Keeping their opponent, off balance.
I spoke with Coach Mike Hall before the game, and that was going to be one of his keys to the game. He wanted to pressure the basketball on the defensive end and play at sort of a fast pace. We've seen, decent pace right now, but he wanted to pressure Dunnellon in this basketball matchup. 5:18 first quarter. Mount Dora still getting off to a slow start, only 5-1. But we get a traveling violation there, so the defense coming up big for the Lady Bulldogs.
Yeah, we're seeing some sloppy play here as they start out the game, and that's to be expected, from these girls. But I think as the game wears on, especially like we saw yesterday, the intensity level improved, the ball handling improved, and I think we'll see fewer and fewer of those types of turnovers.
Oh, good entry pass down low. We'll get a shot up. Haley Todd able to get something up, but unable to get that one to drop. That foul is going to be on number 5, Tyra Thomas, a freshman. Her first personal, second team foul for Dunnellon.
Haley's really showing no ill effects of that shot to the jaw yesterday, although she could have required stitches in there, seeing the severity of that hit that she took.
And Todd knocks down her second of 2 free throws. Currently 1 for – she's 1 for 4 now on her free throws. Missed a few, and we actually call a jump ball, and that one's going to stay in favor of Dunnellon. 4:52 left here, first quarter. Actually, Mount Dora gets possession. Way to correct me there, Tim. I like it. And we just haven't seen the offense from Mount Dora. We've seen sort of flashes of it, but good takes to the basket, but unable to finish there at the rim. And we'll get another jump ball, and the guys at the table getting a little workout there with the possession arrow.
Well, again, what we're seeing is Mount Dora, they are just scrapping. They are all over the ball. They are pressing on defense. They are, when you're undersized, you can make up for it with quickness and pressure.
And we have a timeout on the court. Dunnellon going to call their first timeout of this basketball matchup, Coach. But so sort of what we've seen so far in this basketball matchup, slow play from the offense of Mount Dora. And we haven't seen much out of Dunnellon, but, there's sort of a back and forth, a chess match right now.
Right. Yeah, and I think until they really get into a rhythm, get into a flow of the game, nobody's making too many outside shots yet. So let's hope that their outside shooting improves, especially for the Lady Bulldogs. They've got 2 points, and both of those are free throws. So they've got to start connecting on some of those outside shots.
So, Coach, we've got a couple of games today. We'll have the boys later on. We saw them in a pretty good basketball matchup last night. So, kind of excited to be here, sort of championship Saturday. A lot of bowl games going on TV, but excited to be here today.
Absolutely. I think the matchup we're going to have later this afternoon is going to be a good one, a very good one. 2 evenly matched teams. The Mount Dora Bulldogs are going to hope to walk away with this inaugural win here in the Cletus Stutzman Classic, and their opponent is going to give them a good game.
And out of the timeout, Mount Dora calling off the Dogs. They're going to drop back into, Coach, a 1-3-1 defense there. You got the center running down on the baseline, and good defense there. That one's going to go out of bounds, and Mount Dora will take possession. So, Coach, mixing up the defense. Mount Dora typically a man-to-man team, but going to the zone there and coming up with something.
Well, it's going to be the way that they're going to be able to overcome that height advantage.
Entry pass down low. Again, another missed opportunity down there. Point-blank range and unable to drop in that shot. And pressure defense causing the ball to go out of bounds, and Mount Dora will take possession with 4:05 left here in the first quarter. Bulldogs?
Well, they've had very active hands. You've seen them intercepting, going into the passing lanes, tipping the ball, causing the Dunnellon team to end up touching the ball and forcing those types of turnovers.
Mount Dora going to the motion offense, sort of flashing, and they go with another entry pass. And a lot of traffic down there, still unable to finish it. Mount Dora will maintain possession, Coach, but that's a dangerous pass to pass it down there when you've got 3, maybe even 4 red jerseys just lurking around.
You know, a dangerous pass, and the Bulldogs need Gianna Bonner to be able to convert underneath. She is getting a lot of good looks underneath the rim, and so far she has not been able to really take advantage of those.
Couple of missed shots there from Mount Dora. 3:30 left here, first quarter, and Dunnellon coming back. Mount Dora sticking with the zone defense still, 1-3-1. Good defense down under. Coach from Dunnellon looking for a foul there, but no whistle from the officials. And here come the Lady Bulldogs in transition. Haley Todd bringing the ball up the court. She goes down low, and that one rattles home there. Right. So good transition play there from Mount Dora.
Yeah, Jessie Heitschuh was able to convert there, and they needed that bucket because they had just had nothing so far from outside.
And the zone coming up with another steal for Mount Dora. Gets poked away, and Mount Dora will maintain possession. Dunnellon poking that one out of bounds. 2:50 left here in the first quarter here on Bulldogs TV. Michaela Baker will have the inbounds for Mount Dora. Oh, good entry pass down low. And again, just right off the iron. They go back to number 14, Gianna Bonner. You were just speaking about her, and she'll go to the line and shoot too, Coach. But another good look at the basket.
Another good look. Gianna came down with a rebound from a shot that should have gone in, and now she got fouled and sent her to the line for 2.
That foul by Tyra Thomas, her second personal,
and
third
again,
team foul, or 4th team foul for Dunnellon.
I think the Bulldogs are about 1 or 2 for 6 now from the free throw line.
As Bonner drops in the second of her 2 free throws, and Coach, the chess match continues. We're tied up 5-all here in the first quarter.
And again, Mount Dora able to touch the ball in the passing lane there, and it gets deflected off of a Dunnellon player. So
the defensive move to switch away from the man and go to the zone has worked well for Mount Dora Bible as they've gotten right back in this basketball matchup. They go to Bonner down low.
And now we see Dunnellon in the man-to-man.
Oh, that ball bounces off a couple players, but Mount Dora gets the offensive board. They look for Bonner again down low. Gets a defender up in the air, unable to finish it there. And another offensive board from Mount Dora. Good hustle from the Lady Bulldogs. Shot up. And Bonner's unable to capture that one with 2:01 left here first quarter. And, Coach, when you get that many offensive boards, you got to convert at least one of them.
You know, when you see a team that is controlling the offensive board the way that the Bulldogs are and yet unable to convert, that's not a good sign. I think Coach Hill is going to have to address that with his team.
All good hands there by Mount Dora. The defense comes up with another steal. Shot goes up, and we'll get a jump ball underneath the basket with 1:41 left here in the first quarter.
That was a great defensive play by the Dunnellon player.
Hustling down the court.
Hustling down the court, blocking that. Actually, it could have been, I guess, called a jump ball, and Mount Dora retains possession.
Shot's going to go up from the left side. That one rims out. Defensive board goes to Dunnellon. And they're going to call it out of bounds. So a little bit of contact there. The Dunnellon coach looking for a foul, but contact, and the Lady Tigers will maintain possession with 1:30 left here in the first quarter. Zone defense has been well, and they're going to stick to it, sort of a 1-3-1 zone defense. And we'll get a cheap foul there by number 20, Haley Todd, as she was reaching in for that one. Substitution for the Lady Bulldogs Brooke Fuller into the game as the shot goes up for Dunnellon, and that's a 3-ball, Coach, and that one drops in. So the tie gets broken up after about a couple of minutes there.
Well, Dunnellon hasn't had a lot of outside shots, but those that they've had, they've been able to convert. They've had a lot of unforced turnovers. And Mount Dora just now suffers one with an errant pass into the backcourt, and the ball goes over to Dunnellon.
With 55.2 seconds left here in the first quarter, Lady Tigers with possession. They go down low. They look to swing it out, but they trap the corner there. Entry pass down low. Active hands from Mount Dora. Scrappy play from both teams, and that one gets poked out, and the Tigers will run that one down and bring it back. As Mount Dora settles back into that zone defense, they go with the outside shot on the left side. That one, good offensive board there. And they'll call no basket on that one. It looks like it'd be a Mount Dora foul there in the paint.
No, I'm not sure. I think Sierra converted that, and she's going to get the and one. Sierra Oliver had a nice look. No, you're right. They're saying the foul occurred before the basket.
So that foul on Caroline Brooks, her first personal, 4th team foul for Mount Dora. Substitution by the Lady Bulldogs. Haley Todd back in the game, along with Kate, is it Moon?
Mon.
Kate Mon into the game with 15 seconds left here first quarter.
I think you'll see the Bulldogs try to hold for the last shot here.
They go right side with a 3-ball. Bonner with a big rebound. Todd with a shot up, blocked there by the Lady Tigers, and that'll bring the first quarter of action here on Bulldogs TV to an end with the Lady Tigers of Dunnellon High School with the lead. And, Coach, how do you wrap up that first quarter?
Well, I think it was a time for each team to just sort of start figuring each other out. Neither team was good at their passing, their dribbling. The one thing I did notice was Mount Dora was able to establish position down underneath and control the boards on the offensive end. Unfortunately, they're just not able to convert.
Yeah. So we're going to take a break here on Bulldogs TV. Hang with us. Varsity basketball action back here in just a few.
Boy, these headsets are so much nicer. Thank you. Staying to do the boys game? I guess I am too.
Richard Thomas back here on Bulldogs TV with Coach Tim Dean and second quarter action here. If you're the head coaches of both teams, what have you told your team during the short break?
I've told my team to take better care of the ball. They've made some errant passes, and they need to take better care of the ball, work the ball around the perimeter. Don't take the first shot that you come to. Wait until a teammate flashes open, and then when you get the ball, make sure you convert. They've missed so many wide open baskets underneath.
As we saw the Lady Tigers turn over the basketball early here in the second quarter. Again, slow offense from both teams. This one will probably be a low-scoring game. Bonner with two defenders on her. Gets a shot up, and she'll go to the free throw line. And the free throw line sort of been the Achilles heel so far of the Lady Bulldogs. Haven't been able to convert those free throws.
Yes, but I like what they did there, Richard. Did you see how they moved the ball around the perimeter? Then they hit it down into the low post there to Gianna Bonner, and she had a makeable shot. Good defensive play, though, to foul and block the ball. But I like the way Coach Hill had set that up.
And Bonner makes the first of her 2 free throws. Bulldogs will retreat back in the defense as the Tigers bring the ball up the court. Oh, good steal there by Haley Todd, and loose with the basketball there as number 5. Tyra Thomas comes up with the steal. She pushes fast in transition all the way down, and sort of a Steve Nash move. She goes all the way down under the basket, comes right back up, and they get a shot up, but it'll go out of bounds, and Lady Tigers will maintain possession. But Todd gets the steal there. Got to take better care of the basketball.
Absolutely, and that goes to what I was saying earlier about when you get the ball, protect it.
Easy pass up, and Mount Dora converts. Kate Mon there, and we'll get a timeout on the court. Lady Tigers get the timeout, Coach. So, again, the chess match continues. We're tied up again, 8-all here, as the Lady Tigers call a timeout.
Well, I think Coach Hill has to be pleased with the way his team has come out here in the second half. If I'm Coach Maldonado, I'm talking to my girls and I'm saying, hey, don't let them get back into this game. We were controlling the tempo in the first half. Keep the pressure on them. Make sure that we're handling the ball well. And let's get down to the other end and get a bucket.
6:51 left here, second quarter. Want to make sure we remind you, you are watching Bulldogs TV, the live streaming program of Mount Dora Bible in Mount Dora, Florida. It's the first annual Cecil Schwartzman Holiday Classic, the women's championship game, as we see a shot from the outside. It looked awkward and weird, but number 20, Savannah Helton, able to knock that one down, and the Lady Tigers take the lead. Bonner gets a nice offensive board there. Haley Todd with the 3 ball. That one rims out. Defensive board goes to the Tigers.
Gianna Bonner, she is able to control the offensive boards, and she is not that tall of a girl, but she positions herself so well, boxes out well, and is able to control the offensive boards for the Bulldogs.
Coach, I think one thing if you can sort of tweak with Todd is not to bring that basketball down as sort of, that center position. You want to get that rebound high. You want to keep it high. When you bring it down, the defense sort of gets an opportunity to get on you, as Bonner able to get up another shot, gets a strong offensive board, and just, again, unable to convert right there at the basketball rim with 5:44 left here, second quarter.
Now, Gianna had 2 good looks at the basket there, and I don't know if she's rushing her shot or what, but she's got to convert on those opportunities.
Another steal there by Mount Dora, and they lost it for a second, got it back, and that one's going to go out of bounds, and Lady Tigers will take possession. The defense is there, Coach. The opportunities are there. Mount Dora's just got to convert.
Yeah, and again, Caroline Brooks with an opportunity, to take care of the ball. When you've got the ball there, you get a takeaway. Wait on your teammates. Don't try to force the action. And what happened is she ends up turning it over herself.
And a double dribble violation there by Dunnellon, and the Lady Bulldogs will take possession. 5:13 left here, second quarter. Only a 2-point lead for the Lady Tigers. Substitution for the Bulldogs as number 25, Brooke Fuller, comes back into the game for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Kate Mon is going to get a little breather here, Richard, and she has been very active on both ends of the court. I think she was ready for a rest.
Jumper goes up left side. And that one's going to go out of bounds, and Dunnellon will take possession. Cold shooting night for the Lady Bulldogs. Thomas thought about the shot, brings it back down, and we'll get a hard foul there by number 14, Gianna Bonner. That's going to be Gianna Bonner's first personal 15 foul. As number 10, Tanika Jackson, drops that one in. Here comes her second with 4:44 left here, second quarter. That one's up, and she drops both those in, and slowly but surely the Lady Tigers of Dunnellon have opened up a decent lead here against Mount Dora.
Well, I was watching Tanika Jackson. She just had perfect form on that free throw. You can tell she's a player, and as their senior, I'm sure she's their emotional leader as well as their floor leader.
And that foul going to be on number 20, Savannah Helton. That's going to be Helton's first personal, 6th team foul for Dunnellon. Bulldog substitution. As Caroline Brooks will have her second free throw. Still having a tough time at the line as that one drops in. Another substitution. Jesse Heitsu into the game for the Lady Bulldogs.
The Lady Bulldogs, they're fortunate to be only 3 points behind with the shooting they've had. They could easily have an 8 or 10 point lead had they been able to convert on some of these shots directly underneath the rim.
Big offensive board there by the Lady Tigers. Strong move to the basket there by Tanika Jackson. And it's Dunnellon who's converting the points at the rim. Todd thought about it. Almost gets the ball stripped, and we have a jump ball. And possession will stay in favor of the Lady Bulldogs. Got to be strong with that basketball, Coach.
Yeah. But again, I like the way they're working the ball into Gianna Bonner. It's going to be up to Gianna, though, to put that ball into the hole because so far they keep flashing the ball into her. She's just got to convert.
Pressure defense by the Lady Tigers. They go down Bulldogs go down into the corner and just throw the ball away to Dunnellon. And here come the Lady Tigers fast in transition. They're sort of on a roll now. And riding the wave of Tanika Jackson, who's put together a couple of scoring opportunities for the Tigers. There's Jackson again. We just spoke about her, and there she is, Coach. She's sort of come alive for the Lady Tigers as Jackson knocks in a 3-ball there, and Tigers continue to open up their lead.
Yeah, and what we've seen here in the second quarter is the Lady Tigers being much more proficient on the offensive end of the court.
Jackson again driving in transition. She will get the foul and one. Tanika Jackson coming alive for the Lady Tigers.
I bet she has at least 7 points this quarter, and she is opened up now a 10-point lead for the Lady Tigers.
Michaela Baker with the foul, going to be her first personal. 6th foul for Mount Dora as Jackson will go to the line and she will shoot the and one. She misses it, and some work to do for the Lady Bulldogs as they're down big against Dunnellon.
They need a bucket right now. They need to stop the bleeding right now.
As another one sort of rims off. Rebound, Lady Tigers. Jackson, good entry pass. Offensive board there, and the ball kind of sails up and over the rim. Another jump ball. But Jackson came down. You want to see that ball handler with her head and eyes up. She finds a wide open player. And you're right, the offense from Dunnellon is on point. It's not flashy, it's not fast, but they're making things happen offensively as Lady Bulldogs, our head coach, Mike Hill, calls a timeout.
Very frustrated. I was watching Coach Hill there on the sidelines. During the offensive end here when Mount Dora, again, missed another very makeable shot and then came down on the other end, their defense did not set up well, allowed them to get right into the lane. They're fortunate they missed the shot there. Otherwise, they would have had easily 2 more points there.
2:44 left here in the second quarter. We want to remind you, if you want to learn more about Mount Dora Bible and all it has to offer, be sure to visit us on the web at www.chbs.org. That's www.chbs.org. You can find our contact information there and speak to our admissions specialist and schedule your campus tour today. Bulldogs TV, the live streaming program of Mount Dora Bible in Mount Dora, Florida. Archive footage available of this broadcast and many other Bulldogs TV broadcasts. Just visit FHSAAsports.com. FHSAAsports.com/MDB. Again, that's FHSAAsports.com/MDB. You can watch archive footage of this broadcast and many other broadcasts all season long. You can also take Bulldogs TV, Tim, on the road with you, watch on your mobile phone. Again, go to that same webpage and you can watch Bulldogs TV while you're on your holiday vacation. Out of the timeout, Lady Tigers will maintain possession again. 2:44 left here, second quarter. Inbounds goes underneath the basket. Shot goes up good. Blocked there by Bonner. And the Lady Bulldogs, by way of Haley Todd, bringing the ball up the court. Some work to do here, Coach. They've been stuck at that 9 for a while now. Todd driving, gives it up to Bonner. Again, brings that basketball down. You want to see the big man keep it up.
Yeah, she lost the handle on that shot and wasn't able to convert. And, again, results in a turnover. And here we go with Tanika Jackson bringing the ball up court.
Coach, we saw another offensive board there, but a quick shot, sort of just threw it up there. Didn't really have much behind it as it barely caught the front end of the rim. Approaching 2 minutes here in the second quarter, into the first half of play. Jackson, turnover. Todd comes up. We got an injured player as Haley Todd sort of took a shot to the chin or the throat, it looks like. She'll go to the sideline.
That's a similar shot to what she took yesterday. She had in a game about a week and a half ago, had taken a hit and had gone and had oral surgery done and had just been cleared to come back to play last night and took a foul last night in the game and was held out for most of the second half, and it looks like she has hit that same spot again.
Todd will take a rest. They go down to Bonner. She makes a good move, strong move to the basket, and finds a sweet spot on the basketboard, on the backboard, and Bonner gets the Bulldogs up on the board here with 1:35 left in the second quarter.
And that's been there for her the entire afternoon. I'm glad to see her convert that. That might give her some confidence and help her in getting that ball into the hole.
Pressure defense there by Mount Dora. Tigers spin out to the sideline. They give it to Jackson, and Jackson will bring it out and slow down the offense of the Tigers. Bonner getting a hand in there on the defensive end. And Coach Maldonado going to call a timeout for the Lady Tigers, as out of the last timeout from Mount Dora, we've seen a little bit of a spark after Todd takes the tough foul, but 1:11 left here in the first half of play in the girls' championship contest in the Cecil Schwartzman Holiday Classic.
Cletus Stutzman.
What do I keep saying?
Cecil Schwartzman.
Oh, I keep messing up the tournament namesake. Cecil Schwartzman.
It has a nice ring to it,
yeah,
though.
I don't know what I was
like
thinking.
that. Although I think Schwartzman might be a Jewish name. Here we're at a Christian school, so.
So Cecil Schwartzman Holiday Classic.
No Cletus Stutzman.
Gosh, I'm reading what your notes there, so you messed
I wrote
me
a
up. we gotta, that one's on you because we got to cross out your notes. Cletus Stutzman Holiday Classic.
There we go.
Here on Bulldogs TV. 54 seconds left here in the first half of play of the girls' championship.
And the Lady Tigers with another bucket. They've opened up a 10-point lead here as we come in close to the end of the first half.
Bonner, strong basket underneath the rim.
Maybe that earlier basket helped her with her confidence, because now she's had 2 good looks and 2 nice baskets there for the last 4 points for the Lady Bulldogs.
30 seconds left here, first half action. Jackson driving. Defense there by Mount Dora, although the Lady Tigers get it back. Jackson with an ill-advised pass underneath. Somehow, Coach, that one stays in bounds. And Mount Dora comes up with it with 10 seconds left on the clock. Got to slow it down a little bit as Jackson comes up with a steal. That one goes out of bounds, and Lady Bulldogs will take possession. But, Coach, we said a couple times last night, sometimes you get going a little bit too fast, and you got to sort of reel it back in a little bit.
Well, Coach Hills put Haley Todd back in. She's his best ball handler. Usually plays the point position. And they've got 6.7 seconds to try to get a score and help them feel pretty good about this first half.
Couple of substitutions by Coach Mike Hill. Three ball from Todd. That one up, rims out. Board goes to the Tigers, and that'll do it for the first half of play here in the girls' championship game. As we look forward to halftime action, Richard Thomas here with Tim Dean, and we saw a sort of a chess match there in the first half of play. Back and forth between both teams. No team really settling into an offensive groove, although the Lady Tigers were able to string together a few points there. So how do you wrap up that first half?
I say Tanika Jackson. Tanika Jackson of the Lady Tigers was the difference here in the second quarter. She was excellent in her ball handling, her moves to the basket. I think she had 2 3-point shots, and she was the difference here in the second quarter, and that's why they enjoy an 8-point lead here at the half.
So Tanika Jackson, the highlight of the first half of play in the girls' championship in the Cletus Stutzman Holiday Classic here in Mount Dora, Florida. Hang with us. Varsity girls basketball action back here in just a few on Bulldogs TV.
The first time you said it, I wrote Cecil Schwartzman, but a question mark. What?
Richard Thomas back here on Bulldogs TV with Tim Dean. We're going to start second half action, Coach. In halftime, we had a chess match in the first half of play. What are you looking for out of the second half? Well, what have you said to your teams in halftime?
If I'm Coach Hill of the Lady Bulldogs, I'm telling them to keep working that ball into Gianna Bonner. She has been underneath the basket, open for shots, and I'm telling Gianna, you got to make some of those baskets. Help your team out here.
As Haley Todd misses that 3 ball. Coach, the story of the first half for the Lady Tigers was Tanika Jackson. What are you looking out of her in the second half of action?
Well, Tanika provides that veteran leadership for their team. She's the only senior on that team, and so I think they're going to turn to her for most of their scoring.
And we'll get a traveling violation there from the Lady Tigers. Bulldogs will take over. 7:27 left here, third quarter. A little bit of a hole to dig out of for Mount Dora here early in the second half of play.
Yeah, points have been hard to come by for the Bulldogs. 13 points and a half. They're capable of easily doubling that in a given half.
Turnover there by the Lady Bulldogs as that ball goes out of bounds. Lady Tigers take possession. And it looks like Tanika Jackson working the baseline there, and it looks like we've got her in sort of a zone man free, or we're playing a zone, but they're man up on Tanika Jackson, trying to keep her out of the offense.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they switch to a full man-to-man, because I think Coach Hill realizes that's what he's going to need to do to put the clamps down on Tanika.
And Haley Todd with a good box out there, unable to bring down the rebound. 6:45 left here, third quarter. Jackson working the baseline again. Mount Dora with one man on her. Almost came up with the steal there, and another turnover by the Lady Tigers. So the defense there for Mount Dora, as it was in the first half, now got to make something happen on the offensive side of the basketball.
Yeah, and it looks like they have switched to what you were describing earlier. You know, one player playing Tanika man-to-man, the other's back in a zone to keep the ball out of her hands. But as we see, Mount Dora turns the ball over with an unforced error here and gives the ball right back to the Lady Tigers.
And another traveling violation. Defense again stepping up for Mount Dora. Coach, you talked about it. The offensive boards have been there. The defense have been there. You force the turnovers. When you're controlling those, when you look at a stat line and you're controlling offensive boards and the forced turnovers, you should be winning a basketball and winning it big.
Absolutely. And the big problem for the Lady Bulldogs has been their inability to put the ball into the hole.
3 ball goes up from Mount Dora. Todd with a rebound down under. Opportunity to sort of convert again. And the consistent 2 thumbs up we've seen all game long. Another jump ball. This one looks like it'll stay in favor of Mount Dora, though.
Well, Haley Todd was able to come down with that rebound. Unfortunately, she couldn't go right back up for the basket. And again, there on the inbounds play, point-blank shot, you got to convert those baskets. You're not going to get opportunities, good looks like that. You got to convert.
And the arm workout continues for the operator of the possession arrow as another jump ball. Tigers come back and had that defensive board there, and Jackson makes some pay as that ball falls right into her lap, and she puts it right up for a point. 5:26 left here, third quarter. Three ball from Mount Dora. That one rattles out. An offensive board there. Ball goes back up. Another offensive board. And Caroline Brooks will go to the line and shoot 2. Still tough shooting from Mount Dora.
It is tough shooting. And, Richard, as I look at the Bulldogs' ability to rebound, they are able to control the boards on both ends of the court. They're just not able to convert their basket opportunities. There we see Caroline Brooks on the front end of a 2-shot foul.
Offensive board there by Bonner. Went up for a shot and the ball wasn't there. Good defense there by the Lady Tigers, and they're back in transition with a little over 5 minutes left here in the second half of play.
Now, but Gianna was able to box out and control that rebound.
Rebound there by Mount Dora, sort of stuck in the corner, and Coach Mike Hill going to call a timeout here. So not to beat a dead horse with it, but still the chess match continues. They're going back and forth. No team really sort of taking it and running with it.
No, and again, I like what I'm seeing from the Lady Tigers. They're dictating the pace of this game. They're pushing the ball up and down. For the most part, they're able to convert, but neither team is really lighting it up in terms of outside shooting.
You are watching Bulldogs TV, the live streaming program of Mount Dora Bible in Mount Dora, Florida. Archive footage available for this broadcast by going to FHSAAsports.com/MDB. That's FHSAAsports.com/MDB. You can watch archive footage of this broadcast and many other all season long. Out of the quick timeout, Bulldogs still with possession. 4:35 left here in the third quarter. Bulldogs in the motion offense. 3-ball left side. Todd still having a hard time shooting as that one looked good, but just missed. Jackson fast in transition. Good entry pass down under. Contact and point Lady Tigers.
As I'm watching the pace of play here, you know, our player of the game for the Lady Bulldogs yesterday was Michaela Baker. I don't think we've called her name yet today, have we?
Slim pickings for Mount Dora today as Michaela Baker. Drives to the basket.
Drives to the basket. And maybe this is what she needs to get her untracked, because she had an outstanding game yesterday in the first round.
And that foul on number 20, Savannah Helton, her third personal, second team foul for the Lady Tigers. Baker at the line, shooting 2 free throws. First one's up, and that one drops in. And, Coach, this basketball game, not out of reach. You just got to string together a few points, and you're right in it.
No, not by any means. Mount Dora could easily get back into this game because their rebounding has been their strength. The problem is getting the ball back into the hole after they've rebounded.
4:03 left here as Mount Dora comes out with the pressure. And a turnover there. Bonner gets it. Boom.
There we go. All right.
Gianna Bonner puts one in. Jackson driving. Gives it up to Bonner. And double dribble. And Bonner's not the one you want to typically see taking it up the court. She got to squeeze that and find the point guard and give that one up. But after a good defensive play, a turnover, Bulldogs.
Sometimes you have to realize what your strengths are, and Gianna needs to give that ball up to one of her better ball handlers.
5 second. Yes, there it is. 5 second violation. Good defense by Mount Dora, and they get the ball right back.
Well, a bucket here would bring them within 5, and then we've really got a new game on our hands.
So Coach Mike Hill stepping up the defense of the Lady Bulldogs. Looking for Bonner underneath. They work it around the perimeter. They go right into her. And the ball gets up to Todd. Todd driving. And we'll get a blocking foul there by number 5, Tyra Thomas. That's her third personal, third team foul. Bulldogs have maintained possession with 3:17 left here, third quarter. Oh, Todd opened up, left side 3-ball. That would have been big, Coach. As another one rims out for Todd.
There just seems to be a lid on the rim for the Lady Bulldogs with their outside shooting.
Jackson driving. And we'll get a foul underneath the basket.
Tanika is just so fluid as she moves in through the lane and to the rim. Unfortunately, she was fouled there because that could have easily been a bucket.
Jackson misses her first of 2 free throws. 3:03 left here, second quarter. Here comes her second. Second free throw up, and that one's good. Bulldogs ball. About 3 minutes left here. Midway through or towards the tail end of the third quarter.
Lady Bulldogs aren't out of this game, but they do need to come down here and get something.
Bonner, offensive board, goes right back up with it. Coach, we spoke about it. If you keep that basketball up, it makes an easier basket as she's able to knock that one in. 2:39 left here, third quarter. Lady Tigers fast in transition. And that ball goes out of bounds. Good pressure defense by Mount Dora. And the shot came a possession later, but only down by 6 now. You're well in this game now.
Absolutely. They keep chipping away and chipping away. By the fourth quarter, we could have a tie game, and then it's anybody's ball game.
It's cliche, Coach, but they say defense win championships, and it's been the defense of Mount Dora that sort of got them back in them. And another big shot from the left side.
Well, the Lady Bulldogs are suddenly on a roll. I think Coach Maldonado, is he going to call timeout?
And Coach Maldonado going to call a timeout as the Lady Bulldogs have cut this one down to a 4-point lead towards the tail end of the third quarter. The defense has been there all game long, but it's the offense that's come alive for the Lady Bulldogs.
Well, they're starting to put the ball in, and that's been what's hurt them throughout this game. They've started to get some consistency from Gianna Bonner. She's shooting the ball much better. They've made a couple of nice outside shots, and that's how they've been able to cut into this lead.
Lady Bulldogs absolutely cold in the first half of this basketball matchup, but still alive here in the women's championship game of the first annual Cletus Stutzman. Sorry. I said that right.
Yes, you did.
Yes, Cletus Stutzman Holiday Classic here on the campus of Mount Dora Bible. The home team trying to take away the championship.
Hopefully we'll get a chance to speak with Coach Stutzman again. He was gracious enough to grant us a brief interview at the conclusion of the first round games last night.
As we get ready out of the timeout, Lady Tigers will take possession. 2:13 left here in the third quarter. Lady Bulldogs trying to get back in it and try to get it done through defense as Bulldogs come out and sort of a pressure man-to-man. Jackson fast in transition. They'll get a kickball, but way to get a foot in the lane there by Kate Mon, making it happen for the Lady Bulldogs.
Well, I like what Coach Hill's doing here. He's pressuring the ball all the way up the court, and it's resulted in turnovers throughout the game. Let's see if they can't get another one and cut into this lead again.
Todd almost had a hand on that one. All good defense there. And we'll get a jump ball, but active hands in the passing lane. And Bulldogs, via the jump ball, will take possession.
So once again, defense is leading to offense, and let's see if the Bulldogs can convert here.
So the Bulldogs parent that volunteered for the possession arrow tonight didn't think he'd get a workout, but another big jumper on the left side. Kate Mon gets that one for the Bulldogs, and it's only a 2-point game now. Jackson fast in transition. Oh, and got to ease up there. Michaela Baker running hard down the court and takes out a Lady Tigers player. But, Coach, the jumper from Kate Mon has just come alive, and she's knocking down that 10, 12-footer there over on the left side.
Well, they finally found the range, and that's been their problem early in this game.
And Bulldogs
I tell
stay
you what,
alive
it's
there.
scrappy. They're scrapping.
Todd with the basketball, loses it, gets it to Jackson. And Jackson drives and misses that one. Don't see a lot of misses for her. Bulldogs up fast, and it's Bonner who got a nice pass from Haley Todd and just misfired on that one. Easy basket underneath the rim there. That would have tied it up, but it looks like the Bulldogs will maintain possession.
Well, bless her heart. She's playing her heart out. She's just not able to get the ball to go in.
Todd with the 3-ball, jumper right side from Mount Dora, no good. Jackson with the rebound for the Lady Tigers. She'll bring the ball up the court with 1 minute left here in the third quarter. Bulldogs back into the man defense, as you said. They slip back into it, sort of 45 seconds left here, third quarter. Looking for Jackson. And that one's going to go out of bounds. And Bulldogs will take possession. 36.8 seconds left here, third quarter.
Again, good pressure defense. I think Coach Maldonado wanted a timeout. He couldn't get the ref's attention, and as a consequence, they turned the ball over, and the Bulldogs got a chance to tie it up here.
And they're going to go right to Mon, who's been knocking down that shot. That one looked good, unable to sink it. But she's got the hot hand right now.
And if I'm Coach Hill, I like that. I like that shot. She was open, and that'll be there for her later in the game.
10 seconds now left here, third quarter. Bulldogs down by 2. Don't want to have a foul here late at the end. We have one more quarter of play as Jackson's just going to hold it. And we'll go to fourth quarter action here on Bulldogs TV. Coach.
Great quarter for the Lady Bulldogs.
They've come alive.
Absolutely. They were down 10 points there at the half. It's now a 2-point game, well within their reach. If they keep playing with this intensity, they could pull away and earn a victory.
We do want to remind you that you are watching Bulldogs TV, the live streaming program of Mount Dora Bible in Mount Dora, Florida. Archive footage available by going to fhsaasports.com/MDB. Again, that's fhsaasports.com/MDB. Archive. You can also purchase DVD copies of this broadcast by emailing the school, and we'll get a DVD copy out to you as soon as possible. Richard Thomas on the broadcast with you with Tim Dean, and we've got boys championship action coming up after this, so we encourage you guys out there to hang with us or log back into the Bulldogs video portal. We'll have that game up in just a few. So excited about that game, Coach. We saw
absolutely. Merritt Island, great squad coming over from the East Coast of Florida here in this invitational. Again, a school that we don't get to play very often, but I think the matchup is going to be really exciting.
Merritt Island has a little bit of size on them, saw a couple of their players. So that would be something that you think Coach will be looking at in that basketball matchup.
Again, Mount Dora seems to be able to counter that always with pressure defense and great outside shooting.
As we start fourth quarter action, all Bonner with a nice block there. And
is that a traveling call on Michaela Baker?
I think they're going to call. I think she might have stepped out of bounds, Coach. Our angle is a little awkward here, but the Lady Tigers will have possession. Jackson has it at the top of the key. They'll working the ball around, still sticking with the man-to-man defense.
I have been impressed with Tyra Thomas, number 5 of the Lady Tigers. Freshman, she has really handled the ball well. I think as her high school career continues on, she is going to improve quite a bit.
And they go with the hot hand down on the left side. Kate Mon and gets the shot blocked there. Lady Tigers will take possession. 7:14 left here, fourth quarter. And now's your time to make a push towards a finish.
Yeah. Cape had another good look. She seems to be shooting from the same spot. And
Good active hands there. Lady Tigers keep it alive, but it's Bonner who gets a hand and pokes that one back out. Goes for the block. Defensive board, Mount Dora. Here come the Lady Bulldogs in transition.
All right, they got a chance to tie it up again. Let's see if the Lady Bulldogs can convert.
And still tough shooting tonight for Haley Todd. But the Bulldogs get possession back quickly. Coach, Haley Todd just having a tough time tonight.
You know, that's probably a little bit outside of her range. She was probably three feet behind the arc.
And that's back to
look,
back.
Look at the rebounding. Look at this. Haley converts this time. We've got a tie game.
Hustle play there by the Lady Bulldogs. Haley Todd driving to the basket. A little bit of contact, able to finish at the rim. And it's Jackson's comebacks quick, but a good block there underneath the basket there by Gianna Bonner, forcing that one to go out of bounds, and Lady Bulldogs will take possession. So you have Haley Todd on the offensive board able to make that one happen, and in transition, Bonner able to come up with a big block.
Coach Hill has got these girls with their defensive intensity. They're keeping their hands out there into the passing lanes, deflecting the ball, and that's led to a lot of turnovers. Let's see if they can.
A good entry pass there to Todd one more time. Driving to the basket, that foul on number 5. Tyra Thomas, her 4th personal, 4th team foul. They go into Todd, 3-ball from Todd, rims out again. Offensive board's gonna go to Mount Dora, but Brooks had her foot on the line, so possession now in favor of the Tigers. Tigers driving. A lot of traffic underneath the rim. And a 3-second violation. The Coach Maldonado on the court looking for a foul there on that play. There was a lot of contact, but the officials call possession in favor of the Lady Tigers.
I think Coach Maldonado had a good case there. I believe his player was fouled, but we're going to take that one.
5:38 left here in the 4th quarter. We got a tie basketball game. As the 3-ball goes up, and that one looked like it might have stayed in, but Mount Dora again, the offensive there, the good shots are there for Mount Dora as well as they come up with a defensive play. They've got numbers. Bonner up on the left side, but Brooks going to keep it off the backboard and miss another one at point blank range. Coach, sometimes I think when they go in transition, we're like biting our nails, and then they sort of let us down, but they come back and get it done on the defensive end, and they get the ball back.
And, you know, if I'm Coach Maldonado, I'm saying to my team, you got the rebound, take care of the ball. A traveling call is not what you want to see there.
And not the pass you want to see with Bonner with a couple of players draped on her. They give the ball right to her, and Thomas able to get the steal. She goes coast to coast, and she retakes the lead for the Lady Tigers.
Yeah, Tyra Thomas has quick hands and excellent ball handling skills.
They go into Bonner. Good movement down on the block. Defensive board. Tigers unable to get that when we have substitutions both sides. It's Todd back in the game. She's going to replace number 25, Brooke Fuller. 4:46 left here, 4th quarter of the championship match of this first annual Cletus Sussman Holiday Classic. Todd with another 3-ball, and it's Jackson, the wrong person, going all the way, and she will finish at the rim, and it's now a 4-point lead again for the Lady Tigers.
That's 2 easy layups in a row for the Lady Tigers. If I'm Coach Hill, I'm telling my team, you've got to get back on defense.
4:20 left here, 4th quarter. Bulldogs still well within this matchup. They go right side, easy basket at the rim, and she finishes. That's number 23, Kate Mon. She's had the hot hand in this second half of play. Bulldogs come up with another steal, and number 11, Michaela Baker, will go to the line and shoot 2 free throws. So, Coach, they'll turn the ball over, but they'll get the ball right back, and that's through hustle defense.
It is. It's that hustle defense that has kept them in this game. 2 free throws here could knot the score again.
Baker will go to the line, shooting 2 free throws. And the first one rims off the back of the iron. 4:02 left here in the fourth quarter of play. The free throw line hasn't been good to Mount Dora in this basketball matchup.
No, and you know, this is an area I'm sure Coach Hill will be working on with his girls this coming week.
Missed opportunity there as Baker misses both her free throws. Jackson in transition. 3:56 left here, fourth quarter.
Let's see if the Bulldogs can step up their defense and get another turnover here.
Bulldogs sticking with the man defense, sort of switching on the screens. Good pressure defense there by Haley Todd. And she goes down to the ground. They scramble for it. But Haley Todd scrapping now for the Lady Bulldogs. Trap in the corner. They get it out, 3:38. Thomas looks for some offense on the left side. Skip pass. Caught, but it's Bonner who comes up with the steal. Todd now in transition, and it's going to get poked out from behind by Tyra Thomas. And Mount Dora Bible will maintain possession. 3 minutes. We're getting to sort of that crunch time now. Got to make something happen. Got to make it quick.
On that possession, I noticed that the Lady Tigers seem to be standing still and waiting for somebody to do something with the ball. They need to be moving when they don't have the ball. Move without the ball. Get yourself into a position where you can receive a pass and make a basket.
And Coach Mike Hill didn't like what he saw out of the offense from Mount Dora. He'll call a timeout. And, Coach, we're at that 3-minute mark. We're going towards the end. This is the championship here on Saturday in the first annual Cletus Stutzman Holiday Classic. What do you tell your team in this timeout? Got to make a move right now.
Absolutely. This game is well within their reach. I'm telling them to protect the ball. Every possession counts. Don't do anything foolish. Pass the ball to your teammates. Look for somebody who's open, and when you get that open shot, make sure it goes in.
We do thank you for watching Bulldogs TV, the live streaming program of Mount Dora Bible in Mount Dora, Florida. Archive footage available by going to FHSAAsports.com/MDB. Again, that's FHSAAsports.com/MDB. The boys championship game coming up after this basketball matchup right here on Bulldogs TV. Your men's varsity basketball team taking on Merritt Island in a basketball contest later on at 6 o'clock. Scheduled tip time for that. We'll have coverage here on Bulldogs TV, so be sure to hang around with us. Coach, you'll be joining me on that broadcast one more time. So we appreciate you for logging on and watching, supporting our school and our varsity girls and boys basketball teams. 3 minutes left here, Coach, as we said before the timeout. Bulldogs with the ball. They go right under to Bonner.
That looked like that play was designed by Coach Hill right from the beginning, and it worked out into a nice basket for the Lady Bulldogs.
Michaela Baker drops in the basket. We're tied up one more time, 30-all. Jackson fast in transition, but just throws it away as her offensive player not running with her heads up, and she kind of just throws that one away. So an opportunity now for the Lady Bulldogs to grab this game by the collar and sort of take and run away with it.
And here again, every possession is going to be critical as they come down to the wire. It's important that the Lady Bulldogs convert, make sure they get a good look at the basket before they fire it up.
And Coach Brooke Fuller sort of working her way down into that corner, and that's where you want to stay away from. If you can't find anything, you want to work it back around the top of the key, but you don't want to go down in that corner as Bulldogs call a timeout there.
Yeah, they were forced to call a 22nd time because she was about ready to turn the ball over. And again, you don't want to have your ball handler back into the corner like that with two defenders on her. So fortunately, they had a timeout remaining, and let's see if they can get a bucket coming out of this timeout. As they did earlier, they fed the ball underneath, got a good look at the basket, were able to convert, and this will be the first, I think, chance to even go ahead. I don't believe Mount Dora's had the lead anywhere in this game.
Every possession counts with 2:28 left here in the fourth quarter of this girls' championship contest in the Cletus Stutzman Holiday Classic. Bulldogs with possession. They'll get the inbounds from the baseline. And it's Jackson who sort of jumps out and knocks that one out of bounds.
Michaela Baker was fortunate because the 5 seconds was about to expire, and I think that Tanika Jackson helped her out there.
Looking for Haley Todd. They go back in the corner. Wow, 3-ball. That's the biggest three of this basketball matchup as your girl Michaela Baker comes up with a big shot, and Bulldogs with a 3-point lead. And guess who it is who comes right back and gets points for the Lady Tigers? Tanika Jackson will get the foul and the basket, and she'll go to the line with an opportunity to tie this one right back.
Well, you knew where the ball was going. Tanika Jackson, she is the heart and soul of this team. And coming down the stretch, I think you're going to see her with the ball quite a bit.
Coach, we saw that momentum swing in the favor of Mount Dora, and with that 3-ball the other end, but quickly we're back neutral as Jackson was able to come down and get the basket and a foul. 2 minutes now left here in the fourth quarter. Bulldogs with a 1-point lead. This one looks like it's going to shape up to be a nice finish.
Yes, let's see what the Lady Bulldogs can do here. Michaela again.
Michaela Baker with another 3-ball as that one's going to go out of bounds. Oh,
ref, I think you missed that one. Ref.
Missed opportunity there as that ball clearly went out on the Lady Tigers defender, but they'll get possession again. They have the whistle, so they're called to make. Tyra Thomas with the ball. She'll look for something in the lane, looks for the pass, but comes out with it. They work the ball around, awkward 3-ball, and the offensive board. And we'll get a foul underneath the basket on Mount Dora. That foul on number 14, Gianna Bonner, 1:35 left to go in this championship contest.
Well, we're not in the penalty situation yet.
Jackson with the shot. Offensive board goes to the Lady Tigers, unable to maintain it, but we've got another jump ball, and Bulldogs will take possession.
All right.
Coach, I don't think I've called that many jump balls in a basketball contest in a while.
No, but that just shows how scrappy these girls are. They are all over that ball.
1:20 left here first in the fourth quarter. Coach Mike Hill slowing down the pace of the offense a little bit. And Coach Maldonado picking up the pressure as Jackson knocks that one out of bounds. Coach Mike Hill trying to cling to that 1-point lead, not do anything too risky with the offense, as the Mike Hill going to call a timeout, a full timeout here on Bulldogs TV. 1:06, Coach. The pressure's on. You've got a 1-point lead. What do you do now? What do you say? How do you keep your team hype? How do you keep them in this one and focus to sort of make the finish?
Well, if I'm Mike Hill, I don't want this end up being decided at the free throw line. I want my girls to not be out there waiting to get fouled. I want them to push the action, get the ball into Gianna Bonner. She has been open underneath throughout the game. Let's see if they can find a way to get the ball to her and have her convert.
We do thank you for logging on and watching Bulldogs TV, the live streaming program of Mount Dora Bible and Mount Dora, Florida. Archive footage available by going to FHSAAsports.com/MDB. You can also access Bulldogs TV from the CHBS homepage. Visit us on the web at www.chbs.org. Just click on the Bulldogs TV icon. Out of the timeout. Coach, it's set up to be epic. 1:06 on the clock. 1-point lead. Bulldogs with the inbound. And we'll get a foul on the part of the Lady Tigers. As you said, the team foul's not a factor.
Trying to see, is anybody close to being in the bonus?
Lady Tigers are about one team foul away from being in the bonus. 14 fouls for Mount Dora. Inbound goes to Bonner. Oh, that one was tipped by the Lady Tigers player. Todd comes up with the steal. But gotta be aware there. She, it was tipped, so it was able to. She could fielded it in the backcourt, but didn't see that tip. 54.5 seconds, and coach, that's what you didn't want. You didn't want to have a missed possession.
No, and I look for the Lady Tigers to try to get the ball into Tanika Jackson. I can see she's being double teamed right now by the Lady Bulldogs.
Jackson does get the inbounds. Todd gets her down underneath. And Jackson gets up an awkward shot, but too fast in transition there. Number 23, Kate Mon, trying to split the defenders. And secure the basketball.
And I think that's a frustration foul up by Tanika.
And Coach Maldonado calling for the pressure defense. Mon brings it up. She's going to go all the way to the basket with it and just turns it over underneath. But Tyra Thomas I thought they called her out of bounds, but.
No, she lost the handle, but she was forced out by the Mount Dora player.
Jackson with the ball. Jackson driving to the basket, but the pass underneath at number 24. Actually, that's number 34.
Sierra Oliver just couldn't get a handle on the ball, and it goes out to the Lady Bulldogs with 31 seconds remaining.
31 seconds, as you said. Todd with the inbounds, and Mount Dora just kind of throws it away. And Coach Maldonado going to call a quick timeout, 26.6 seconds. And again, neither team can really grab it. Mount Dora with at the advantage right now with a 1-point lead, but we're still going back and forth. We saw sort of a clean, fourth quarter, but now it's just been back and forth. Each team just turning the ball over.
Yeah, the final 2 minutes, I don't think either team has scored. The Lady Bulldogs maintain that 1-point lead, and I think it's going to come down to Tanika Jackson getting the ball into her hands.
Don't want to have a letdown late here in this basketball matchup. Only a 1-point lead with 26.5 seconds left. And we spoke about it in the pregame. You said it a couple times. These teams seem to be a little more evenly matched, and the score reflects that.
Yes. It'll be interesting to see if Coach Maldonado tries to hold the ball for a final shot, or if they try to get the ball into Tanika quickly and then go back and play defense.
Coach, how are you going to play Tanika Jackson? What's the strategy there to sort of keep her from getting a victory for the Lady Tigers?
I'm going to put my two girls with the best hands on her, as we see right now. Michaela Baker and
Kate Mon on.
Yeah, Kate Mon, both of them fronting her. And they turn the ball over. Michaela's got it. We've got 22 seconds.
They go into Bonner. They bring it back out. 13 seconds now on the clock, and you think they would foul, but Tigers not fouling, but they do finally call a foul. Coach, if you're Coach Maldonado, you got to foul a little bit sooner. A lot of time ran off the clock there.
Yes, and when you're not in the bonus, well, they are. They finally made it to the bonus. So let's see if Haley Todd can seal this for the Lady Bulldogs.
If she hits one, she makes it interesting. If she hits two, she makes it tough for the Tigers to get back in this one. There's the first one, and that one rims out. So still 7 seconds left. Oh, traveling violation after the rebound. And that might be just what the doctor ordered for Mount Dora.
Well, let's hope the Lady Bulldogs can protect the ball for the next 5 seconds here. It's important to get it in.
Bonner with the inbounds. They'll go up. 2 seconds left, and we'll get a foul. And number 23, Kate Mon, will go to the free throw line with another 1-and-1 opportunity with 1.5 seconds left on the clock.
Well, we've been frozen on this score since the 2-minute mark. I think 33-32.
Yeah.
Let's see if Kate Mon can finish it up here for the Lady Bulldogs.
Again, the first one goes up, rims out again, and that's going to be the end of the game. Coach, it was a tough one. Bulldogs down the entire game, able to find a way back in this one, and they win it by 1.
Well, what matters is the score at the end. And I think it was the only time the Lady Bulldogs held the lead. That 3-point shot gave them a 33-30 lead after Tanika Jackson came down and brought the Lady Tigers to within 33-32. No one was able to score in the final 2 minutes despite free throw opportunities, and the Lady Bulldogs escape with a narrow victory.
And we'll have the trophy presentations, and hopefully we can get a word with our head coach, Mike Hill. We're going to take a quick break here on Bulldogs TV. Richard Thomas here with Tim Dean. Hang with us. We'll be back for our post-game show in just a few. Richard Thomas back here with Coach Tim Dean, and we saw the Lady Bulldogs get the championship. We saw the trophy presentation and the all-tournament team awarded to a couple of Bulldogs players. But, Coach, an exciting game. Bulldogs were down all game long, and they find a way to get back in this basketball matchup.
Well, as you said, it's a cliche, but it's the final score that counts. And the Bulldogs led only at the end. And they battled in there. They were down, I think, 10 at the half. Came back with a strong third quarter. They were only 2 points behind going into the fourth quarter, and were able to pull out a great, great victory over a very strong Lady Tigers team from Dunnellon.
Coach, it's tough to find just one player on the Lady Bulldogs that sort of stood out, but it's the team defense that sort of stood out for me, Coach.
Absolutely. They have quick hands, quick feet. They pressure the ball. They create a lot of turnovers. Their rebounding was excellent. They had always had good position. And that was the difference in the game. That's what kept them in this game. It could have easily been a runaway by the Lady Tigers.
So the final score, or the final verdict in this basketball competition, the Lady Bulldogs get the 1-point victory over the Lady Tigers of Dunnellon High School. Still waiting on our head coach, Mike Hill, to come up. And I'm not sure where Coach went, but we'll go ahead and wrap it up here on this edition of Bulldogs TV. Be sure to tune back in. We'll get the boys game up in just a few, but varsity basketball action back here on Bulldogs TV in just a few. For our producer, for our cameraman, and for Tim Dean, I'm Richard Thomas. We're going to sign off on this edition of varsity girls basketball action on Bulldogs TV. See you in just a few. Varsity boys action in the championship game, the first annual Cletus Sutsman Holiday Classic.